Have you ever wanted to get into real estate investing, but you thought that you didn't have enough money, or maybe you felt like your credit wasn't good enough? Well, my name is Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the GoGetter Family Real Estate Investing Academy. And today I've got a special guest on with me. It's my homeboy, man. He's an OG, a pioneer in the real estate investing game. So Jamel Gibbs out of the great from NYC. But I got him on here today. We're going to talk about some ongoing deals that we got right now, man, getting in with no money, no credit checks, or a little bit of money. So if you're new to my channel, I want you to hit that like button. And if you feel like I bring you some value, I want you to consider subscribing. All right, let's go.
I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. Hustle to the end. We some no-quitters. Knock it out the park. We for show hitters. Right, left hemisphere. That's a dome splitter. Yeah. We control our own destiny. Make moves. Cultivate whole legacy. Creative finance. Bring more ecstasy. The right ingredients. Now that's a dope recipe.
Little technical difficulties, man. Let me hop back on here with you. Had a couple technical difficulties. I'm in my hotel room. Trying to make it happen. What's good with you, man?
Good, man. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. I just I was out running around. You know, I'm down here in Houston, so we're going to the auction tomorrow, the Houston auction. There's about 800 houses that are going up for auction tomorrow. So we're setting up a table, you know, passing out. I'm gonna have a little workshop afterwards, pass out a guidebook, man, show them how to get houses without having to go bid. You know what I mean? So out here taking action. Jamel, it's good to have you. I've had you on a couple other my platforms, but YouTube's a whole new ball game, man. So tell the people a little bit about yourself and who you are, kind of what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Jamel Gibbs. I've been in the real estate industry since 2002. I've been educating real estate investors since late 2006, early 2007. I started off as a rehabber. I got into wholesaling shortly after that. And then got into creative finance and new construction and all kinds of things. But today we're focused on wholesaling and creative finance. That's kind of the play for us right now, and it's working really well. So that's a little bit about me.
Man, you freezing up on me.
I'm freezing. Can everybody hear me?
Oh, yep, I got you now.
Cool, man.
It keeps locking up.
No
hey,
problem.
Put in the comments, guys, if you can hear if you can hear Jamel or if he's cutting out on you. I want to see if it's my internet here at this hotel, man. My bad. It's hard. It's a little hard work being on the road.
Understood, man. Can everybody hear me clearly?
There you go. You're good now.
We're good. Well, let me start from the top, bro. How's that?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, Boricua Menace. My man said I can hear Jamel just fine. Yep. I love that. I love that name, man. My wife is Boricua, so I know.
Yes, sir. Spreading the love around, man. There's some of everybody here, ain't it?
Yeah. But yeah, man. So I mean, that's a little bit about me. I think everybody kind of heard the gist of it, but if you want me to go from the top, I definitely I can do that for you.
No, we're good, man. We're good. As long as they heard you, that's what matters. So we're in the midst of some deals right now, man. I like to dive right in. So if you guys don't know, I've linked up with Jamel because, you know, living the lives that we've been able to live so far, Jamel much longer than me, because he's been in the game for a while. We know that real estate is the way to really get your freedom back, to buy your time back. So I've linked up with Jamel to bring you guys some game. That's why we're out here, you know, talking about this and educating you. So Jamel, you got some deals going on, and I know we're like in real life situation, man. So talk to me. Where you at? Progress report, I guess.
Yeah, man. So I just locked up 4 doors last week. I actually got another one that we're working on right now. Now those 4 doors are between 3 properties, and they're all seller financed. I am putting some money down on those, but that just sweetened the deal for me to be able to do it. Here's a guy who, initially he didn't even want to sell, man. He was like, I contacted him through a postcard. So he contacted us and he said, hey, if it's the right offer, maybe we can make some things happen. He wasn't necessarily interested in seller financing, but he wasn't opposed to it. And I was able to read that. And that's the importance of being able to read conversations, right? So I was able to read that. And ultimately, I did it live on camera too on my YouTube page, man. You kind of know that already. But good thing is, we ended up agreeing on a solid deal, and I'm going to be closing it in a couple of weeks, man. Hopefully before the event.
Okay. So you put a little bit of money down on this property, but I mean it's for 4 units. So how fast will you have your money back is the question.
It's really going to take me. So I did the math. The properties are currently bringing. Oh, somebody said this Boricua minutes. He said subject to no, it's seller finance. There's a difference between the two. We could kind of get into that if you want. But I guess, do you want me to talk about that now, or do you want me to get?
Yeah, break it down. We're talking about the numbers so you can show them, because you're not taking over any mortgage on it. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So there's a difference between seller finance deals and subject to deals. The difference is subject to has debt, seller finance doesn't, right? So that means that the seller of the property on a seller finance deal doesn't have a mortgage on the property. It's free and clear. Subject to, they have a mortgage, and I'm going to be taking over the payment, right? So that's the difference between the two. On this particular deal, this seller owned this house since the 70s. These houses since the 70s. He doesn't have a mortgage on them. He paid like $3,000. Here's the kicker, man. Here's the beautiful part about real estate, right? So he paid about $3,000 to $5,000 per property, man. I couldn't believe it when I heard it. But now he's gonna make a $300,000 profit on these properties just because he sat on them. They cash flowed for him over the years, obviously, but he's 72 years old. He don't want to keep dealing with it. That's the beautiful part about the real estate industry. You know what I mean? But for me, I am going to put money down. Right now, the properties are cash flowing about $2,640 a month. My initial payment to him after taxes and insurance and everything is going to be about 17. So my payment to him is $1,750, I believe it is, after I'm looking at the numbers. And then after taxes and insurance, like $2,160 or something like that. So if you do the math, I'm going to net about $480 per month. Now, if you take $20,000 down, divided by $480, I think it was like a little over 3.5 years going to take me to get my money back. And cash flow, that's like straight cash flow.
Yep.
Yep.
Can I just say this real quick? So it's like you're getting paid. It's like you got paid to own some new properties.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. Because after 3.5 years, I get all my money back, my down payment, and then it's all green from there, man. Unless I put some money into the property, which I do plan on doing, but really the equity, the appreciation is gonna kick in. It's not. I'm never gonna lose money. You know what I mean? You only lose money. You could overpay for real estate. Here's the beautiful part about real estate, Gene. You could overpay for real estate if you wanted to, and as long as you hold on to it long enough, you're still gonna come out in the green. Ain't that crazy, man? So like you can literally overpay for a house. Let's say a house is worth $100,000 today. You paid $120,000. If you sat on that house long enough, you're gonna eventually be in a green on that property and get all your money back. That's the beautiful part about real estate, man. You know what I mean?
And you know what else I love about it is this, because I seen I was scrolling Instagram, man. Sometimes I mindlessly get caught, just scrolling. But I saw the yellow trucking company, how they went out of business. I think it was last Friday was their last day, and then they filed bankruptcy on Monday, and everybody's pensions, their IRA accounts, all of those just evaporated. So the thing with what Jamel just did on this transaction is, one, he didn't have to go to a bank and qualify. His qualifications were his credibility, the way he presented himself, negotiating skills, and then it's backed by real estate. Like as long as it's cash flowing, it doesn't matter how the value fluctuates or how they manipulate the market, you are still getting a steady income from something that people need to survive, which is shelter, right? So you pretty much can't go wrong. It's worth learning, I feel like.
Of course, man. And at the end of the day, you know, would you rather have $20,000 sitting in the bank, or would you rather have that $20,000 working for you to be able to? I look at money like this, man. Money to me is you know, there's an old saying that I have. Every single dollar that you have is like a soldier. It should be going to war for you. A worker, they should be working for you in some way. You know what I mean? Every single dollar. So I got 20,000 new soldiers that's out there working for me right now. That's going to war for me, helping me get more money, helping me get more soldiers that I can reinvest, man. And that's the beautiful part about, you know, having access to the money. So I don't really want my money sitting in the bank. I ain't making enough money with it sitting in the bank. You know what I mean? I'm not getting, there's no benefit in the money sitting in the bank unless you have like an emergency fund. You know, you might want to have like, you know, depending on your lifestyle. My lifestyle is different. Obviously, everybody has their own lifestyle. But for me, I like to have a year's worth of income in the bank, right? Outside of that, I don't need the money. So I'm going to put the money to work.
Yes.
And I'm also going to come up with opportunities where I don't have to use money. Seller finance. You know, I do a ton of seller finance deals with $0 out of pocket, right? But then there's other times where I actually want to use the money. I'm into laundromats. I'm into car washes and stuff like that.
I didn't know that. You just full of money. You just full of money. Person bump into you, they gonna hear some gold coins hit the ground.
Yeah, man. So like I diversify my money into different passive income streams to be able. I don't tell a lot of people about laundromats and car washes, but you know, even that we do with seller financing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you can sell finance. You can sell finance anything, man. Anything. You can sell finance a car, a business, a house. You know, anything. I could sell finance clothes if I wanted to. You know what I mean? So the concept is the same across the board. It's just how are you going to use it to affect your future, and that's basically what this is all about. You know.
Absolutely. Well, let me just ask you this real quick. So you started with real estate, and then you kind of parlayed that after making some money into you know, a situation where you had some bigger bets, so to speak, with the laundromats and the car washes, right?
That's exactly how it was, man. Same play. It's the same exact concept, bro. It's just a different bag, man. A different type of animal when you're dealing with, you know, car wash, more mom and pop style or commercialized style businesses. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I do laundromats. You know, we just made 3 offers on laundromats out in Charlotte. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. I do it every week, just like real estate, man.
Charlotte's blowing up too.
I love Charlotte, man. It's only an hour away from me. You know, I'm from New York, but you know, I live in the South now, and I'm just kind of building my roots down here at this point for my kids, man.
Right.
Same thing with car washes, man. You know, those coin. I try to look like coin operated car washes where you don't really have to be there. You know, you get somebody to go there, maintenance guy to just sweep up the place. Clean up, make it look good, shut it down. You all good, man. You know, and that's what it's all about. You know? Coin operated places where you know, you get the truck to come out, collect the money for you, deposit it into your bank account. You ain't got to do nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But that's what this is all about, man. It's about passive income. It's about cash flow. Yeah, you know, wholesaling is great. I am going to be talking about wholesaling at your event. That's the way to start getting your bag up. But you got to be able to take that money and do something with it. And that's what this whole passive income play is all about, man. I got to be able to take the wholesale profits and to be able to create passive income streams from the money. So it's like you don't want to have active income and live off the active income. You need to have passive income. So what you do is you take the active income from wholesaling, which I'm going to teach you at Gene's event coming up in a few weeks. You take that wholesale money, which is active income, money that you have to work for, and then you turn around and you put it in the passive income streams. And you live off the passive income profit. You don't live off the money that you work for. Because then you're going to be working forever, man. You know?
Absolutely.
I know you're struggling there a little bit.
I know, man. I'm in this hotel, man, and my dang.
It's all good, man. I got your back, bro.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let's see what's
But yeah, man. That's basically what this whole event is all about, man. Your event is basically going to be wrapped around taking active income streams and then turning them into passive income streams. And once you guys understand how to do that, will help me change. There's 2 books I'm going to recommend for you guys that really helped me with the way I think over the years, right? So you got Rich Dad Poor Dad, first book I ever read from cover to cover. I don't like to read. That book had me intrigued the entire time. I read it when I was in high school in the late 90s, right? So Rich Dad Poor Dad helped me to understand the importance of cash flow. Then I read the cash flow quadrant as well. But then my second favorite book, and a lot of you guys, to me, it's a better book than Rich Dad Poor Dad because it really simplifies the money process, right? And that's The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yes.
Read that book, man. I love it. Absolutely love that book, man. And it really breaks down how to understand money through stories, right? If you can, through stories and illustrations, to me, that's one of the best books ever written on money. But that's, I'm biased because I love that book that much, right? So those 2 books, you got Rich Dad Poor Dad, first book I ever read from cover to cover. The Richest Man in Babylon, how to understand money and how to apply money, right? And those 2 books is really the foundation of everything that I know.
Let me ask you a question. You said something interesting there, though, man, because reading is important. Getting knowledge is important. Absolutely. You said the Rich Dad Poor Dad was the first book that you read
from cover to cover.
From cover to cover, right? Yeah. So what prompted you to okay, I gotta, do it on this one?
I don't know, man. I just, I think one of my friends recommended me read the book. He recommended that I should read the book. And I was in high school at the time. And I was like, man, I don't even like reading. Reading is important, but I'm an audio learner. So everybody has a different modality on how to learn, right? Some people learn visually. I learn visually and through audio because I'm always doing something. My mind, I always tell my wife this, and she knows this, my mind runs at 1,000 miles per minute. And so, I could be thinking, they call it ADHD. Maybe that's just a term for somebody who got a lot on their mind, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I just think that I'm always looking for the next thing, right? So I'm thinking about something for 5 minutes, 5 seconds really, and then I'm thinking about something else. Then I might come back to it, then I'll go back to something. That's just the way my mind works, right? So that's why I can't sit and focus on reading a book for too much longer. You know what I mean? I have to listen because listening to a book is gonna draw my attention differently than actually reading a book, right? So, with that, I was able to sit through and read that entire book within 3 days.
I always said it's a bit choppy. Oh, there it goes. I don't know if that's your mic, man. It stopped being choppy when you stopped talking.
I don't know, bro. Is it?
Yes, it's choppy as soon as you go in. I'm over here scrambling like I'm gonna see what you can do, but because I'm gonna talk about that to the people. So Jamel was saying felt like, or ADHD. Somebody may have said that, and I've said that about myself. But entrepreneurs, right, guys, this is how learning works. Is you learn something and you take action within that level. So it's almost like it's in an entrepreneur's nature to read some books, learn something, and then you want to go do some of that. But the whole thing is you can't just jump to the end, y'all. It's really impossible to where you start. You're not going to end where you start. And we got to be conscious of that and take those steps, man. Greatness comes one step at a time, incrementally, right? Not all in one big leap. That's mediocrity right there.
Absolutely. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, brother.
There was something up with the echo cancellation button. I just deselected echo cancellation. I think that might be a auto feature with this software. I got a cup of coffee, man. My wife just put on that Bustelo, man. You gotta have that Bustelo, bro.
Well, no, I gotta have a wife. That's the problem.
Hey, man, it's that Bustelo right here, bro.
Okay, that thing look good too. Yeah,
it's
like
good,
that.
Man. It's that good coffee right there, bro.
I've been drinking gas station coffee in Starbucks in Texas, killing me. Yeah. Oh, they said it's better now. Okay.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm happy to start from the top, man. Because I know if my mic was coming in choppy, I just want to make sure everybody's getting value. That's all, bro.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Look, this is the thing about entrepreneurship, man. Well, let's start from the top. My name's Gene Boykin. You got your headphones? I got a little feedback too. You ain't got no headphones?
I don't, bro.
Oh, it's all good. It's a little simple in the background. This thing about being an entrepreneur, y'all, you're gonna have to overcome problems. You're gonna have to overcome obstacles. It's never a straight line. If you can't overcome obstacles, you're gonna have to go work for somebody or be unemployed. I mean, it's just one of those two things. So my name is Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the GoGetter Family Real Estate Investing Academy. This is my guy, Jamel Gibbs. Now, he also helps people with the Real Estate Investing Education Academy. Oh, yes, he's been doing it for a while too, man. A lot of deals, a lot of different type of deals, okay? And so he and I have linked up to bring you guys the game, because we're out here crushing it, man. I was just talking to, we have an appointment tomorrow with a buyer for my house in Citrus Springs, tenant buyer. I paid $23,500 down out of my pocket. I'm getting $10,000 down payment, but we're cash flowing $1,200 a month on that thing. So I was like, I'll take that shortfall initially on my money I put up front to buy this house by 10. Now this was a subject too. It had an existing mortgage. We're taking that over, boom. And then we're selling it on rent to own to a tenant buyer. So we're getting a down payment, and then they're giving us monthly payments. Now, peak game, Jamel. And to me, this was nuts. I just had my deal administrator over here before I got on with you. And because we're going over the paperwork, and we're charging 8% interest. And I'm sitting there like, now that's too low, because the prime rate is 7.5, right? But and I was like, you know what? Because we had to make the monthly payment, align with what they could afford. So I was like, well, we took over a 3.25 fixed rate. I'm cool with 8%.
Of course.
That's a good chunk of change.
That's almost 4.5 points right there, man. 4.5% on top of the money right there.
Exactly. And so real quick, man, and I'll let you dissect that too, how from your perspective, but we put it on a 40-year agreement for deed calculator. Okay. And so the interest, if we got every payment for 40 years, is $619,000 on top of the $289 that we charged for the house. So it's almost $1 million house, $1 million deal on a buy and hold, guys. And I'm not responsible for maintenance and repairs because of the type of rent to own we're doing. Beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Now, are you turning around and reselling this through seller financing? Are you slow flipping?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
that's what
slow flip, man. That's the name
slow
of the game.
Flip.
So you're gonna make 4 times the money right there, then.
Boom, 4x.
4 times the value of the property you should make. 4.5, about 4.5 times. That's a bag, man. 40
Straight
years.
bag.
You know what I mean?
So I was listening to somebody on social media, and I actually put up a post, and he was saying, I got into real estate, and people understand that, you're not going to make any money in real estate for 5 years, so you got to be able to hold. And I'm like,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, what the, So you want to speak to that just from your perspective?
No, man. I think, the way he does it, and I know exactly what you're talking about. He's a friend of mine. The way that he does a slow flip, he pays off the house in 5 years. So then he'll put the buyer on a 30-year amortized note. And he collects for 25 years on that property after the fact. And he has,
after it's paid off.
He has about 150 of them that I know of. His son
He's a
has,
big timer.
yeah, his son has 50 houses right now. He's not even 13 yet. You know what
Really?
I mean?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, him and his son, I know, you know, he's a good friend of mine, man. I know him and his family really well. And he started his son.
Again too, man.
He started his son really young too, man. He gets the bag, bro. But
That's
the way he
crazy.
does it is he sacrifices the first 5 years so that he can cash flow 100% for 25 years.
Man.
So I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do this business, a lot of different ways to cut the pie if you want.
Yeah.
I like cash flow up front.
Your mic's getting crackly again, man.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I switch over, bro.
Okay. It's all good. Let me mute you. Get that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's clear as day. So while Jamel's switching over, y'all, okay, so what he was talking about, there are so many different ways that you can. Oh, let me unmute you, man.
Is that better?
There you go. Oh, that's clear as day. There is a.
Yeah, it gotta be something over the mic then. It's gotta be something over the mic. Is that better?
Yeah, it
is.
It
Still
is.
echo?
You hear me twice. Yeah, echo.
Man, so let me try the echo cancellation.
No, it's the headphone. We might have to reschedule another day for y'all, man. We don't have so many technical. I won't. Oh, there you go. Oh. I was gonna talk about my challenge too, man. Yeah.
I can hear you clearly, bro.
Yeah, it's an echo in the background. Because you ain't got no headphones. You ain't got no AirPods?
Zero, bro.
Ooh. It's all good. It's all good. So this is what we're gonna do, y'all. We just gotta talk one person at a time. Now I'm the one. Oh, say that again.
Is that better?
I had put you on mute. Oh, you're good now.
Yeah,
ain't no echo now.
Yeah, because I cut the echo cancellation on.
Boom. Okay. Yeah, y'all see, we just work on through it. Look, heartbeat didn't even go up. That's how you know it's experience. You see, Jamel was cool as a mug cucumber. I love it. All right, y'all. So now we're good. Check it out. There are a lot of different ways to make money in real estate. Okay. Now, what for me, the determining factor was my acquisition ability, right? My acquisition ability. So for me, acquisition ability means, do I have some money? Do I have a little bit of money? If not, do I have people that I can joint venture with that are, have enough money to either buy the property and do the fix, meaning I'm gonna have to find a really sweet deal. But when my knowledge got up, well, then I was able to get these properties by either paying out the seller some of their equity over time, or a little bitty chunk up front, or reinstating the mortgage, like the last one I did, 23,000. So that just opened up a whole new world to me. But some people have private investors. Some people have institutional investors too. So there's a lot of different ways to make money. You just want to look at it from your perspective and your circumstances and what's going to allow you to really collapse the timeline, because it's all about time.
That's exactly what it is, man. At the end of the day, that's the beautiful part about being an entrepreneur. That's the beautiful part about being a real estate investor in general. You could design your business and your life based on how you want it to work, right? You can design your business based around your lifestyle. So if you want cash now, then you can make real estate pay you now. If you want to build for cash later, that's perfectly fine as well. You have to design your business wrapped around your lifestyle. Once you understand that and you put the pieces in play, the rest of it is history. It's not an easy business, but it's only as hard as you make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to put in work. It takes work. You have to grind. But the reward from it is phenomenal. I don't know anybody who there's a reason why they say 90% of millionaires became millionaires because of real estate, right? I don't know anybody who got into real estate and really put forth the effort to really be able to build something who's broke today. You know what I mean?
You said it.
It changes your life in so many different ways. If you're smart with money, if you understand how real estate works, if you understand that it takes work to be able to build something special. In 3 to 5 years, you will never have to work again. 3 to 5 years from the time you start. And
real talk.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, real talk. Now, see, you said something too. People that decided to get into real estate, right? They made a decision. They weren't, half in, half out. Like, let me see. I'm gonna try this out a little bit and see. You got to be all in, because think about it, man. Is success gonna come to the person who's iffy? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Success ain't coming to that person, right? Because it doesn't fall out of the sky, and we have to do it intentionally. Now, the thing about it is we want to consider how much work we put in to get the job that we have, right? Because I talk to people all the time, man, students, followers, as you do too, man. And when I'm talking to these people, it just really hurts my heart that their mindset is the thing that is stopping them from getting in this game that many other people are doing, and just following the steps and being able to make a commitment to themselves. So, because they're like, oh, it's hard, or I've never done that before, it's uncomfortable. And so I think it makes me think to myself, well, when you filled out that job application, right, and you put all your information on there, then you called your friends up and you was like, hey girl, I put you down when on my references, make sure you answer if these people call, and oh, he says it echoes when I speak. Oh my goodness, let me get that noise. What you do to echo cancellation? I don't see it.
Yeah, I did that. Go to your settings right there, and then go to audio.
Oh, on StreamYard?
Yeah, on StreamYard. Go to your settings, then go to audio, then go click on echo cancellation. Okay.
Settings, audio, echo. Man, I got echo cancellation on.
You do?
Let me reduce my background noise too. Hopefully that helps.
You sound fine to me, man.
Okay. All right, cool. So you fill out this job applications, you call your friends like, hey, I put you down as a reference. These people are going to be calling you because I'm about to get this job. Then you get all dressed up in your Sunday's best. You go in there for an interview, and they're in there asking you questions. But what they're doing is they're picking over your past, and you're putting up a front, hoping that these people pick over your past and they accept you into their group based off of their judgment of you. Now, for me, what I just said is ridiculously uncomfortable. Absolutely. Ridiculously. Yeah. So if we're willing to do that and be uncomfortable for that, we've got to be willing to be uncomfortable for ourselves, y'all.
Really. The difference is, and this is where a lot of people, this is where people base their decision off of, because you have to have income, right? Most people are not capable of, especially mentally, they're just not capable of generating income, or at least having a paycheck. So when somebody can guarantee that you're going to get paid a certain amount of money every week in exchange for your time, that's where you get caught up. And that's where you have to be able to step outside of your comfort zone. You'll be surprised. And I'm not saying that just for everybody, but you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish when your back is up against the wall and you're forced to create income for yourself. That little, most people make what, $5,000 a month?
Generally.
Generally, right? An entrepreneur is looking, that's pocket change. I'm just being honest with you, right? That ain't nowhere near a bag.
I'd be pissed.
Man, if I was making $5, I'll be broke if I was making $5. My bills ain't even $5.
In the hole. Yeah, I'd be in the hole like a mug too.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to be facetious. I'm just saying I don't allow a job. I never had a job a day in my life, ever. Never had a 9 to 5.
That's tight right there.
Just, I'm truly self-made, right? Yes. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not saying it. I've never, ever worked for somebody, ever.
Facts are just facts, man.
It's just a fact. You know what I mean? So I'm comfortable living the type of life that I live and be able to produce the way I produce because I know how to do it. I've been doing this since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus somebody who wants to play the rat race game and receive a little bit of money to help think about what you're doing. You're making somebody else rich.
A lot of money.
They on vacation. They chilling. While you at the job for 40 to 60 hours a week, right? Paycheck in exchange for the time. For the amount of time you put 40 to 60 hours a week into somebody else's business or company or whatever, even though it's a guaranteed paycheck, you're gonna make way more money. You put that time and energy into your business. Now, here's another thing. You're gonna pay way less in taxes because you get the benefit of being a business owner when you actually own a business. You're gonna pay more in taxes, about half of your money to the government when you work for somebody else. That's just
I've done the math.
That's just a fact, man. You know, so like you could take two people, both of them making $250,000 a year, right? How much does a doctor make?
About $250,000. They about, my best friend's a doctor. It's $250,000, man, unless they do another 3-year fellowship after they get out of residency. So about $250,000.
So $250,000. I do that in my sleep, man. If I make $250,000, it's a bad year.
2 months. Yeah.
And that's just a fact. I guarantee, as a doctor, how much do you feel like your friend is making paying in taxes?
Oh my God. His first year, right? After he got done with his fellowship, he didn't know that he was going to have to pay all of those taxes as an independent contractor. So he said at the end of the year, man, he was like, oh my God, like he had to work something out.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so much. He didn't even know. He had to start paying quarterly.
You make $100,000, you make $250,000 as a business owner, you ain't paying nowhere near as much taxes as you would if you were a doctor. And I didn't have to go to school for 12 years to become a doctor, right? So that's the beautiful part about real estate. Real estate, you can learn, you can make money, you can make mistakes as long as you buy right. I made plenty of mistakes. I learned and made mistakes as I went on. I've been profitable. I just told you about a deal the other day. I lost $81,000 on a deal, man. I couldn't believe it. I lost money on 2 deals out of 2,000 over 22 years, man.
And I mean, missteps are going to happen. That's the whole thing. You can't hit a home run if you don't swing the bat. And you said it a minute ago. It's like, okay, when you're selling your time, you get that guaranteed amount per week or every 2 weeks, right? So what happens to us is, we have had this extracted out of us, man. And this is why I respect you so much, brother, because what you just said, you ain't never had a job. So you've been able to live a natural life, because for me, we're creators. So if you're going out there, you're creating your income, creating your living. Well, then you're not looking for that guarantee. You're looking for opportunities to eat. What am I going to eat today, right? Instead of having that same old meal. And what has happened is we've had that extracted out of us, and now we look for guarantees. And when the opportunity is right in front of our dang eyelids, sitting on our eyelashes, we'll miss it.
That's right, man. Look at my man Levi. He said, he topped out at 108,000 as a IT manager, man. 60% of that. So what you make, 65 grand for working 60 to 70 hours a week? No, man, that ain't happening. I literally work a fraction on my real estate business because I got a team as well. I literally work 2 hours a day, man.
See, Yep. You know what Patrick Bet-David says, man. You know who Patrick Bet-David is, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you're on YouTube. Yeah. So and Patrick Bet-David is the entrepreneur's entrepreneur, pretty much. He just bought into the New York Yankees.
He just bought into the Yankees, bro.
Yeah. Yep. I seen that, man. And so he's got a book. It's like your next 5 moves, and then he has your next 15 moves. But he said this, man, and it hit home with me because I was in the trenches when he said it. I still remember what I was doing. It was about 4:00 in the morning. I had just woke up. I'm listening to YouTube, getting my education, my personal development up. Yeah, I'm ironing my shorts. And he said it because I was putting in about 80 hours a week. But he said the first 2 years, if you're putting in 40 hours a week as just an entrepreneur, you're going to have a tough time succeeding. The first 2 years. Yes, the first 2 years. You should be putting in 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week. The first 2 years, because you're building something and you're building that foundation. And as you get sharper and sharper, well, you're able to navigate those situations a lot smoother. You're able to put a team in place. Just like Jamel said, he got a team now, so he works a fraction of those hours. I got a team, but I didn't start that way. I had to build up to that, man. I had to build up to it.
Let me tell you this, man. My first, they say you can be financially free in real estate within 3 to 5 years. I started when I was 21, right? I made $1 million by myself without a team by the time I was 25. Right?
Ooh, yeah,
I went bankrupt. Well, I was basically bankrupt at 27 because I was overspending. That's how I learned that lesson. Right?
Yep.
But I was semi-retired by the time I was 30. You know why? Because of real estate. And my point in saying that is this. I've been able to, through the building phase, I built it up twice. And I knew exactly what to do. But that initial building phase, that 2 to 3 years, the first 2 to 3 years, it was all me, all in. I'm talking about working 12, 13, 14 hours a day, sleeping, 5 hours, get right back up, get it done, bang it up. After that time period, and you start replacing yourself, because now you're bringing in enough income for your business, you replace yourself. It just changes the entire dynamic of everything, man. Once you start hiring people and you put team members in place. And what I realized is I didn't necessarily need to pay a salary because I can pay performance based. That changed the game for me.
Now it comes with that experience though, right? You were experienced, and like you said, man, you was getting it in, man, working your fingers to the bone, your mind to the dang gristle of it. But now though, see, when you have a team, this is how it worked for me. Now that I have a team and everybody has a responsibility, well, I know that granularly what should be happening and how it should be done. So when we're in a conversation in a team meeting and they say something, I'm like, well, hold on now. We got to, did you get this piece in? Right? Did you get that piece? So I know it because I was in the trenches. You know what I mean? And so now you can delegate those things.
That's right, man. It's the same thing like going to flip a burger at McDonald's, right? They got systems and processes in place. You never see the owner of McDonald's at the McDonald's restaurant, but I guarantee you see the manager and the whole staff, and they got a system on how to flip the burgers, right? So the owner, the reason why franchises do this is so that the owner take a step back. Franchise is what they require you to do, because I'm looking into a franchise opportunity right now.
Okay.
What they require you to do after your initial investment is go to this class for a certain amount of time. You work in the facility for a certain amount of time, so you understand every aspect of the facility. So if you needed to operate that business by yourself, you can, right? And they automatically have you go through the hiring process to hire people to do it for you. And then you never see the man, you never see the owner of the business again, right? The reason why they do that is so that you as the owner can understand every aspect of it. You understand the processes to get the business, to keep the business up and running. But it's not up to you. You got to move out of your own way. It's not up to you to run the business. It's not a business. If you're running it, it's a high-paying self-employed job.
You're a business worker.
You're a business worker. You don't a business owner. Notice what I said about the coin laundries and the coin car washes. I said I'm trying to create passive income. So no matter what, I don't have to be there. If it's coin laundry, the machines are doing the work for me.
Sure is.
You know what I mean?
Then you can have somebody pick up the money.
I can have somebody pick up the money, the Brinks, right?
I love it.
I can have a maintenance person go around to the facilities and clean the joints up. You know what I mean? I don't have to be there. That's when it becomes a business. Same thing in real estate. I don't have to answer the phone. I'm doing certain things on YouTube, right? And looking at houses. But I have a team as well, man. And that's a big part of the whole thing. Right?
Then you come in and negotiate the big boy deals too when it's time. Boom.
That's it.
That's all. I got a call this week after we get this check. I love it, man. But I have to say, I have to say this, man, and then I'm gonna. There's a question in here. I want you to answer it though, because I like your evolution into kind of what you're doing now too with the creative finance subject too. So anyway, though, like take McDonald's for an example, right? Success definitely is not a secret, y'all. It's a system. It is a system. It ain't a secret. Yes. So when you go to McDonald's, man, I'm in Houston, Texas right now. If I go order a Big Mac, boom, eat that Big Mac today. I fly back to Iowa Wednesday. I order a Big Mac at the McDonald's in Iowa. Guess what? It's going to taste the same. It's going to be the same. It's going to have the same ingredients on it. Because the Big Mac that I got in Houston, well, the one in Iowa doesn't need to be made by the same person that made it in Houston. So
Right.
when you're running a business, if there are steps, repeatable steps that you can plug somebody into and say, okay, this is what you do, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Well, then the business doesn't depend on old Mike Jones over here. And if Mike Jones gets sick or Mike Jones quits, then you're like, well, how was he getting all the numbers? How was he doing this? Nope. I just go hire Robert over here and I plug him into my system. Bam. And
And
don't skip a beat.
systems can slightly change as well, man. To your point, when I was living in Brooklyn, for example, right? I grew up in Brooklyn. A McDonald's cheeseburger, right? And I'm not a fan of McDonald's by any means.
By any means necessary, y'all. Look, get that straight. I'm glad you said that.
I'm not promoting McDonald's. Let's get that clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: a McDonald's cheeseburger in New York is different than a McDonald's cheeseburger here in the South, only because in the South they add mustard. In New York, there's no mustard on it. You know what I mean? So you'll notice
yes, cultural, geographic preferences.
Asia, if you go to Asia, McDonald's there is going to be completely different than McDonald's here, right? It's a culture.
You know what that comes from, though, right?
That's
market analysis. That's knowing your customer. You know
Oh,
what
man.
an entrepreneur's problem is that I'm going to say we, because most entrepreneurs fail. We think about what we want. Oh, I made this product and here's how much it is. And so come by for me. And oh, by the way, I have a website. Nope. Who does your product or service help? Who does that product or service serve, right? What is their problem? What is their pain? What do they want? What is their pleasure? If you can put that in your messaging and marketing and your service, you'll be like Jamel and I.
Know your client, man. Know your client at the end of the day. It's just amazing, man. Systems change, processes can be the same, right? Systems can change, based on the market. And that's why Starbucks, right? So I know wherever there's a Starbucks, and you probably know this as a real estate investor as well, wherever there's a Starbucks going up, Starbucks does so much market analysis. They know exactly where the growth is going to happen, where the path of progress is going to happen in the city, right? So wherever there's a Starbucks, you buy real estate around that Starbucks because the value of the property is going to go up. So if you're smart, you let Starbucks do all the work, and you just simply follow their path.
Follow them.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you do, man. That's it. You got to see it. You've got to see the opportunities because I'm telling you, I've literally seen people have opportunities almost poking them in the eye and they just can't see it. And it's the mind, man. It's our mind. And if we can control that, well, then like me, I never worry, man. I don't worry. It don't gain you anything. It's going to work out how it's going to work out. Now, I work myself until when I lay down at the pillow at night, I fall right asleep. Because I put in the work for that day.
Does it really feel like work to you though, man?
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
A point, bro. You know what I mean?
Not even a little bit.
Feels like work. Like what I do don't feel like work, man. Like I'm just this is work right now, but this don't feel like work. I'm having fun.
It's life. Yeah, that's what happens. We get to live, brother. That's why we do this, man, and put this out here for people because we know how it feels to live, man. And a lot of people don't.
Yeah, man. I'm going on vacation in a couple of weeks. You better believe I'm gonna write that trip off because I'm gonna be looking at some real estate while I'm there.
Boom. Yep. I just wrote mine off.
Drive for dollars while I'm out there just to look at some real estate. In a tropical area. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. In a tropical area.
I get the benefit from being a business owner, even when I'm on vacation. If you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're not self-employed. If you don't own a real business, you can't do that. You're gonna be paying on taxes, man.
Sure can. So real quick, y'all hit that like button. All right, drop some flames in the comments. It's your boy Gene Boykin, founder of the GoGetter Family, and this is my guy Jamel Gibbs, founder of the Real Estate Investing Education Academy. All right, so today though we're on here because one, I'm in Houston, Texas. All right, so we were having some technical problems earlier. I'm in the hotel. I stay in suites now, man. I need a little space to move around. I walked in here the other day. I was like, what is this life? But we're actually going to be back in Houston August 25th through August 27th. All right, for the How to Break the Real Estate Money Code event live here in Houston, Texas, man, bringing y'all the game. And I'm telling you, we're hitting Houston with a splash that's going to turn into a tsunami. Now, Jamel's flying down here now, and he was gracious enough to do that. I reached out to Jamel out the blue, man, and he didn't even blink. He's like, yeah, man, dude, where, when? I didn't even get to tell him. I'm like, well, brother, it could be in Alaska. You don't even know. You already said yes.
It is what it is, man. You ain't
Yeah,
got
that's my dog.
to say the word, bro. You my
Man,
dog, man.
that's how we got to do, man. Because there's power, man. There is power in more than one of us, right? We only have so much bandwidth. We can only hold so much weight on our shoulders. So we do have to network and utilize that, man. So this, Jamel Gibbs, he's got a lot of time in the game, a lot of time being successful at many different strategies and aspects. So we're lucky to have him coming down there giving us some game. My attorney's going to be there too, Candace Patrick. So I'm going to get the three of us. We just got tough schedules. I'm going to get the three of us on a YouTube before then. Trust me. But Jamel, you want to answer? You want to give this this question here a shot? How do I start the subject two?
First and foremost, man, look for pre-foreclosed houses. That's the game. That's the play right now. If you're looking for pre-foreclosed properties, we're having a lot of success with those types of leads right now. So focus on those. Obviously, you're looking for properties that have a mortgage, preferably people who overpaid for properties over the last 5 years, especially during that pandemic. They got that 3.5% interest.
Yeah.
Today's interest rate is 7%. People with adjustable mortgages, things like that. I would focus on pre-foreclosed properties. Make that look for the pain points, the distress, the financial distress within that opportunity, and then create a situation from there, man.
Yep. Let me throw a little pixie dust on that thing. So when you're looking for them, and I'm glad Jamel said that. That's how you know Jamel got some experience, because the question was, how do I start in subject 2? He went straight for pre-foreclosures. You want to know why? Because you need a mortgage to do a subject 2 deal. Boom. So we know for a fact there's a mortgage on here. The other thing we know for a fact is that these people have to do something one way or another. Yeah, because something's going to transpire at this date, right? It's either going to get auctioned off, or we can come in and instead of having a big ton of a Brinks truck full of money, our currency is our problem solving abilities. So you can find those. Now, I've made so much money, man, from my newspaper, my local newspaper's legal section, probably about $1 million in assets easily, man. And that was when I first started, because you can get to the default notices and then the actual foreclosures where they've set the date. But that's up-to-date information right there. So the legal section of your newspaper will have the leads, because the person that has the deals has the juice.
That's right, man.
Real talk.
Back in the day when I first got into real estate, before I became an investor, I was an agent and a broker, right? And the key to the whole agent thing is to get the listing, and then you let the MLS, which is everybody else, sell the property for you.
Right.
Why do you think that's the case? This is exactly what you just said. You have to make sure that you have the inventory. If you got the inventory, the person who has the deal has the juice. Right? You got the inventory, you got the juice. You did all the dirty work. Now let them come in and sell it for you. You know what I mean?
Boom. Yeah. Because that's the thing. You got to think about this, guys, in real estate. This is why wholesaling was able to take off the way that it did. Subject 2 and creative financing is beginning to become more mainstream. It's just a bit more complex. But when you have that product, and this is a product that people need, they have to survive, well, then the money is generated around you. It circles around you when you have that deal. Yeah, so that's when you can go in and really trade value even, right? You can assign a deal to a big homie, a big dog, like, man, here on a silver platter. I don't even want no money. Just let me be your apprentice.
And you can assign these subject 2 deals and these sellers. You can assign all of these things, man. You just there's no difference between doing a regular huge discount opportunity, regular wholesale deal, and a creative finance deal. Takes a little more negotiating with creative finance, obviously, because it's a little more persuasion. Let's say that, right? But the you have to remember, with creative finance, you can actually pay a little bit more. With wholesaling, you got to pay less. So really, there's a balance act somewhere in between, right? So
Yes.
is it really that much tougher? No, it's not.
No.
Not when you know what you're doing and you know what to
Right.
ask. And that's what this event is all about, right? That's what
Yeah.
we're going to be teaching you over that 3 days. Look, I'm going to teach you how to wholesale. Gene going to get into some creative finance stuff. You know,
Hmm.
if you want me to do another session, man, I could talk about
We,
anything you want to talk about. But the
yeah,
whole thing is we want to make sure people are benefiting from this event
the
to be able to
tools.
keep there making some money.
Yes, and then we're gonna have that professional the professional panel too. So we're gonna be up there, me, Jamel, my attorney. So when you guys do have those specific questions, we can get into that, right? We can get into whatever it is that you want to get into. And so I know Jamel does creative finance, subject to wholesale, fix and flip, buy and hold. You name it. You've been in the game for a minute. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you just hit me with a surprise today. I was like, well, dang, I didn't even. But hey, there's a lot of ways to get the bag out here, though. That's the whole thing, too. So I,
Nature of the
I wanted,
beast.
yeah, I wanted Jamel to come in and talk about wholesaling because I know that Jamel knows um, those high level little intricacies and subtleties, man, that will change the game for you. And so please, y'all, when he's talking, have y'all ears open and your notepads out. I'm dead serious because me and Jamel been doing lives, and I'm a pro, so I'm hearing it when he says it, and that might go over some people's head, or they're just like, oh, okay, that was a good line. No, that was some stuff that you need to like write down and use. So in wholesaling, you can get some money quick, like you said, assign a deal, boom. You don't even got to go to closing if you got the right contract. You can
Mm-hmm.
just assign that thing on the streets if you want.
Yep.
It's a contract assignment. Yeah. So that'll get some gas in your tank. It'll help you build some confidence. And then you can start getting into some more complex things, some buy and holds, assigning some subject twos. So it's like an evolution,
Yeah,
man. We gotta grow into it. You know what I mean? What are
for
your
sure,
thoughts on
man.
that, brother?
Oh, absolutely correct, man. It is an evolution, and that's why you got two forms of income. You got the active and the passive, right? So again,
Hmm.
I believe in living off of passive income. I don't ever want to work for a dollar, man. That's just not what I do, and that's why I don't exchange my time for money. You know what I mean? So what I do is I'll make the money and use that money I'll have other people make me the money, use that money to be able to buy some passive income.
Yes,
Investments, and then I live off of that. You know what I mean?
that's it.
If it's not within those means, like, because think about this, man. And the guy that we were talking about earlier today,
Hmm.
the slow flips,
Hmm.
he put me on game with this years ago, man. He was like, "Yo, think about it like this: you could, you could, you could have 100,000 a month coming in, right? And you can spend $100,000 and be broke. But you know what? Every month is you got a new lotto. You got a new lottery.
Boom.
I got another 100,000 coming next month. So it don't matter. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Just
yes.
think about that. Every month you hit your own lottery. You know what I mean?
100 grand.
That's what passive income is, man. That's what owning rental properties is. That's what,
Hmm.
being able to have that cash. That's what cash flow is, right?
Yes, that's how
Every
you build wealth.
I have the ability I could spend $100,000 this month, and next month I could do it again.
Yep,
Now I don't even
yep,
have to work twice for it. I did
yep.
the work one time.
That's it.
Think about that,
That's it.
man.
So
That's
the time and energy.
once he, I learned from you. I learned from my man, Scott. I learned from a lot of
Everybody,
different
yeah.
people.
Hmm.
We all learn
Hmm.
from each other, right?
Yes.
The type of
Hmm.
circles that we run around in. When he broke that down to me like that, it changed my perspective on everything. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. And that's all it takes sometimes is a small piece. It's really, and Jack Welch said this, man, and Jack Welch is a billionaire. He owned casinos in Vegas and some other stuff. He said it's 2 millimeter shifts that we make. It's
That's
just
it.
2 millimeter shifts that are seismic for us though. But we've got to make sure when we make that shift, we're making it in the right 2 millimeters, because 2 millimeters will knock you all the way off
Mm.
your path, man. All the way. Go ahead, brother.
Warren Buffett, prime example of that, man. When he bought, what is he? Is it Coca-Cola or Pepsi that he owns? I think it's
Coke.
Coca-Cola.
It's Coke. Yep. Hmm.
When he bought Coca-Cola, right? I think they were selling like 1 billion cans of Coke a day, right? All he did was raise the price 1 penny, 2 millimeter shift. 1 penny. 1 penny changed the whole financial perspective of the whole
A
whole
billion, yes, the whole thing. A billion cans a day.
raised it 1 penny, bro, and it changed the game for him. Think about that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's all profit right there. It was already profitable when he bought it. By raising it 1 penny, that 2 millimeter shift, it changes the perspective of the whole company at that point. It's all profit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we have to look at as entrepreneurs, man. So, we got a gang of questions on here. So,
I'm gonna drop one more gem, bro. And this
please do, brother.
This is just a part of. It's just a small fraction of what we're gonna be covering in Houston.
Yes.
With wholesaling, you could give yourself a raise, right? Just by negotiating. If you're at, let's say, a $10,000 profit spread, if I go back to the seller and I just ask for a $1,000 decrease in price, and I go back to my buyer and ask for an increase in price of $1,000, I just created $2,000. That's the 2 millimeter shift we're talking about right there.
Yes.
It doesn't really affect the seller's thought process. Think about it. If I got a seller at 100,000, I'm like, look, I can only do 99. You think he's going to throw away the deal for $1,000? No. Same thing with the buyer. This is too good of a deal for you to throw away. I got somebody else that's willing to do 1,000 more. If you do it, I'll give you the deal. You just made $2,000 just for asking a question. It takes you 5 minutes to do it.
Yeah. And
rather than going to work for 60 hours for the same $2,000, I did it in 5 minutes.
Ooh, that sounds like a good week's paycheck to me. 5 minutes. Hey, where can I apply? Where can you got any applications? So yes, man. And so that's when getting to the upper levels of this comes in beneficial, right? Because what Jamel was just talking about, we actually have some language in our paperwork, that allow, to come back and, hey, my business associates aren't happy with this deal. I got to pull out. Well, that's in the paperwork now that we all signed. So, so it's just knowing how to operate and implement, but also have just being able to come up with these 2 millimeter shifts and think about them, because we're always thinking in a particular way of what should I be doing?
That's right.
Not how. How is a fear-based question, man. You're looking at the totality of it. What is an action-based question? You know what I mean? So let me answer this question, man. He says, how do you get the pre-foreclosure list? Then what is the process once you find the right property? If you can't through the, oh my God, brother. Well, my Become a Bank Challenge does start tonight. So if you haven't signed up, that's going to be a great place for that question, because we do have a 1 hour private Zoom question and answer session. But over those 5 days, I break all of this down. I will give you this gem. So it's my favorite website. Okay. I want y'all to get out your pads and your paper. All right. Write this down. You're going to need it. All right. It's www.google. Did you write that down? Google, really, seriously. So if you go into Google and you put the name of your county and then put sheriff's auction. Yeah, Jamel, like he was like, what's that website? He called it. I get him every time with that, man. I know y'all picked up your pen and was right. So you go to Google though, and you put in the name of your county, and then you put in sheriff's auction, right? Or sheriff's foreclosure auction, and you hit enter. Once you hit enter, it's going to bring up a bunch of different sites, but you don't want to look at those first 2 or 3 most likely, depending on your market, because they're going to be corporations, right? Private companies that pay Google to be at the top of that search. That'll make you pay for those leads when they're free. Okay, so you just look down a couple more sites and you're going to see a .gov, right? Your sheriff's website. You want to make sure it's a government website. And then from there, you just follow the breadcrumbs, right? Now, as for the process, man, well, that's going to be a whole nother live, because we're getting into some, that's the first part of the process. Find it, okay? And then the next part of the process is you got that list. Now you got to find the person who can convey that property, who can sell it. So you got to skip trace them, go to the house, whatever. Once you find them, you negotiate it, then it's the paperwork. That's part of our 4 Ps right there, man. Part of the 4 Ps. Jamel, you want to take this one?
So I'm taking
wait, hold on. My bad. That's the wrong one. I meant to do this one. Yes. Is subject to the same as doing notes?
2 completely different things, man. So when you're buying, when you're buying notes, basically, well, let me ask you this, Rosalind. I'm assuming that you don't know what a note is, right? And you can use this.
Likely not.
Likely not. So let's just go off of that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
subject to basically means that there's a mortgage on a property. The seller is having some type of difficulty and they're willing to allow you to take over the mortgage. So basically the mortgage stays in the seller's name. The deed, the ownership of the property is transferred to you as the investor. So
You
you
get the
own
physical
property. You got the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? You get to own the property and you don't have a note under your name, but you still want to make sure you take care of the seller and make those payments.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A note is basically, for example, a promissory note. As
You would
seller,
create a note
you
if
could
you
create a note.
sold it owner financing.
Exactly. So through seller financing, you create what's called a note. When you buy a property through a regular seller on the MLS, that bank that you would normally use, let's say it's FHA, they create a note in exchange for providing you with the money to purchase that property. So that note is your mortgage. Now, here's the deal. You can, as an investor, especially with seller financing, let's say I created a seller finance opportunity. I can turn around and sell a portion of my note and get cash for that. Let's say I sell 50% of my note. I could get half of the value of the money, of the property value right up front, and then keep half of the cash flow every single month. Right. I can sell a full note. A lot of people buy discounted notes. So let's say I wanted to sell a performing note at
non-performing.
Performing versus non-performing. Basically, you gotta because I'm getting into the weeds a little bit, but you got a mortgage on a property where the mortgagee is paying versus not paying. So you got a performing versus a non-performing note, right? People buy discount notes all the time if they're performing, right? If they're not, pay a little less. But I can get 80 cents on a dollar just right off the rip, just because I want the cash now than rather than collecting on it later on. So a note is basically a mortgage on a property. That's basically
it's evidence. So
You know
so
what I mean?
the note is the piece of paper that's the evidence of the debt, and then the mortgage is the security that's against the property that puts the public on notice, right? That's the security lien. And they sell both of those. The banks sell mortgages. The note, you can have a private note, right? Where there's no public record that debt exists, but that piece of paper is the evidence, and they sell those things on the secondary market. But I feel like the main difference here is the note is the paper asset, right? That's the piece of paper asset. Yes. And then in a subject to, you're actually getting that house, right? Because you're going and talking to that person, telling them you're taking over their mortgage, and then you're getting the house so that you can make your money back and cash flow it, right? So it does, that's the whole thing. There's so many different ways to make money in real estate. It pays to get good at this. It really does, man. And actually, I want to touch on this real quick because at the How to Break the Real Estate Money Code event in August, I'm going to be going into mastering the art of quiet title actions. That's all about notes, mortgage securities, and how we can get a free house based off of how the banks take that promissory note and they sell it on the secondary market. And then they sell the mortgage security separately. And the Supreme Court has said that they're not supposed to. They're supposed to keep those together. But not many people know the process of how to do that and how to call them out on it. So I'm actually going to be going into that. That's some high level PhD foreclosure level type of stuff. You know what I mean? So yes. And then somebody asked up here, did you sell transaction documents? So I'm having my challenge. My challenge starts tonight, man. And then and there's actually my first 6 contracts I use on my first 2 deals come with the challenge. All right. But when you come to the How to Break the Real Estate Money Code, subject to docs and trust documents with the walkthrough. So Jamel, we've been on here for a minute. We had them technical difficulties. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. My challenge starts soon. I got a team meeting coming up. You know, we're out here moving and shaking, man. Moving and shaking. I love it. So if you got any words in closing for the people, then I'm gonna close. We're gonna get on up out of here.
Yeah, man, it's just all about taking action, man. You take massive action, you'll get massive results. Don't overthink what this business is all about. Just do it. You figure it out as you go on, right? It's better to be educated than not, because the education is going to help you skip the learning curve. But at the very least, do something, because the doing of something is going to change your life.
Yep. I love it, man. And just to close on that is we think that we've got to know everything before we'll do anything, right? And that's kind of backwards, because we really don't learn anything until we do something. Okay. And then a lot of us will use perfectionism as an excuse not to do something.
Yep.
So I want y'all to think about this real quick, is every action that we're taking in the present moment is based off of an expectation that we have of a future result, right? So every action that we're taking right now, we have an expectation of a future result that we will get. That's why we're taking the action. Now, every action that we don't take right now is also based off of an expectation of a future result. That's called fear. Okay. So if we have an expectation that the future result will be negative, then we won't take action. So listen, set your path, set your intention, focused activity, go out there, learn something, and you're on your way, man. So Jamel, I appreciate you. If you guys are looking for more information on the Become the Bank Challenge or the How to Break the Real Estate Money Code event, the link is in the description. All right. So I want you guys, Houston, we have a problem, y'all. It's about to be on. Oh, and for all my Houston people, we'll be at the auction tomorrow, set up with our table and passing out a guidebook for you guys and having a workshop at 11:30 a.m. at the auction, right outside, man, right under the canopy. Jamel, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you being patient with your boy too, on the road, technical difficulties. But I'm going to be touching base with you soon too, man. We got to get on with my attorney so we can bring it to the people.
Absolutely. But just remember one more thing, guys. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. So don't doubt yourself. Get out there and do it. Yeah.
Hold on a second, man. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
That's right, man. Think about that.
We're going to leave y'all on that note. That's heavy, man. We're gone, man. Y'all already know what it is. Till next time, let's get to it, y'all.
I'm a go-getter. They some